All right, what's up? What's up? Today, September 18th, 2024, we are going to be going over just some of my levels here. I have adjusted my levels on the December contract. Um, I know I've discussed the cost basis area, just decided to do a little charting here. Weekly measured move is going to be up here. This is my weekly measured move. I know I went over this. I had everything charted previously on the September just so I can go over it, and then now I have all of my levels marked off here. All right, here's my daily chart. Might look a little confusing, but the way Ninja Trader rolls all the contracts, right? I think they adjust it to previous, they back adjust it, whatever they call it. Put 1,000 days on here. I'll explain why I like the way Ninja Trader rolls. So this is our 2022 our 2021 into 2022 all-time high right here. So that's why I have this pink line going across, right? It's a thick pink line. I have all-time high buy area. This is where we broke the all-time highs after breaking above, right? Sold off, and then we bought. Sold off, and we bought. So I have that marked here, all-time high buy area, just so I don't have to have a gray box going through my range measured moves around the cost basis. This is all going to be changing soon. We have a new contract, so there's new positioning. So we don't know exactly where things are going to end up. So I do suspect, or I do expect in the near future to remove all of this from my chart, start fresh, see what's going on. But until then, I'm going to leave it on my chart. Everything is adjusted now. I have my cost basis area here. I did make this a little wider to include this entire area, and then as I was copying and pasting them on my way up, let's get this perfect here. I do have to lock these in place so I can lock all of these in place, right? That way I can click on my chart, nothing's going to move. And we'll lock the cost basis in place. Might be a little bit harder to, let's get the cost basis, lock that, because I care about what's above or more than what's below at the moment. Because we haven't gotten down there, so if these move down here, fine. All right, so I'm going to be clicking and dragging up here a lot. Here we are. Get rid of, this is just a larger pullback based off of the weekly time frame down here at the 14,750 area. But I want to go over the trap, and I'm looking to see if this trap is going to fail, and then see if we can get that nice little upside push. Otherwise, same thing. I'm expecting, if sellers take this, what do the sellers want to do? They're still inside of this trap, right? We had our large move down. We had our move down, our pullback, lower low, right? And from there, we pulled back above the swing, and then we got our trap triggered. We did come down here to the bottom of cost basis and then bounce. But until we have this area breaking and then this area breaking, the trap is still triggered. So until this is broken, we still have a trap. So we could very well continue to roll down. We're expecting rate cuts. I don't really follow it, don't really care, because all it is a bunch of noise to me. I'll just trade whatever price action presents. So with that being said, here's our move. Our trap got triggered here. On this wick down, we triggered the trap below here. We got our sell-off. Retraced to it and sold off more. Since then, we broke above this pink line where the trap got triggered on this big red candle. And then we came up, we broke it, held above, and then we continued higher. We are continuing higher. Two things I'm looking at. The close of right here at this midline. Oh man, Ninja, don't freeze on me. Let's make this a little smaller. Ninja likes to freeze on me when I zoom in with too much data. So the midline here, you can see a dotted line here that we are rejecting off of. So far, we have yet to test it. But that's where the open of a lot of these candles and the close of a lot of these candles are. Which means, you know, there's buyers trying to push above and sellers trying to push below. So this is a battle area, but at the moment with this recent big sell-off, there's going to be more seller stops up here than buyer stops. But there are still buyers that bought up here, potentially. Well, actually, they haven't, because we've had rollover. So they're going to want to break and then continue. Let's zoom this out. So right now, this previous swing that we broke, right? We had a move down, we pulled back, we made a low, and we broke that swing, right? We broke that swing. Let's, do I have 1,000 loaded here still? Yeah, that's why we're lagging so much. We're gonna put this at 65. Put this here. There we go. All right, this is gonna be a lot better. Let's make this a little cleaner here for you guys. We're just gonna get rid of that. I hope that this isn't too much on this chart, right? Let's go ahead and draw the trap that I've been putting on this chart for quite some time now. Make this really big so it's visible. Let's check OBS, make sure that's pretty visible. Yeah, that's pretty visible right there, right? Let's make it a crazy color. Like a yellow color. There we go, perfect. All right, so we have our move down. Pull back, our low, our pull back above, and then we had our trap triggered, right? It got triggered at this level. We came down. So since then, we have broken the pink line where the trap got triggered, and we have continued higher. Right? Move down, pull back, we made a low. Pull back above this swing, and then since sold off, trap got triggered below this pink line, right? This is where the trap got triggered. Came up, retested, and that's when we sold off even further. Bottom of the cost basis. We came up, broke the pink line, held above it, and now we are looking right here. See these bodies? We're looking at the 19,881 area. 19,885-ish, somewhere around that area. This midline, Midline matches up almost perfect to it. So I'm watching that midline to see if that midline is the first level that breaks. If that breaks, I'm looking to see if we can get a pop up here to retest here. We do have FOMC coming. Rate decisions coming. That's today at 2 o'clock. So we got about 2 hours, right? So I'm looking for us to break for the bullish thesis. Break and hold here. And if we do that, I'm looking for this to break. And I keep saying this, right? This is the bullish thesis. These daily candles, I mean, are we going to move this far? Who knows? We're getting rollover, but this is what I'm watching, right? My bullish thesis is to have these levels broken. I keep pointing out these levels. These levels have to get broken, and they have to hold above. Now, this level here, the way I trade traps, after you get your trap triggered, I have said multiple times at this level, it's not invalid yet. You have to start thinking if the trade is still valid at this level. And then right here, this level invalidates the bull trap. And once we invalidate the bull trap, the setup is no longer. These lines come off of my charts. I'll keep them there for a little bit, but those are lines that no longer have significance for a bearish thesis. They become levels that bulls need to hold to continue higher, right? So that's what I'm watching for my bullish thesis into FOMC and after this contract roll. Excuse me. So that's what I'm going to be watching on the bullish thesis. That's my bullish standpoint. You know, because then we've already broke market structure. We've pulled back. Now if we break it again, we can break the intermediate bearish structure. This is an intermediate bearish structure. We did break, but it's at a trap area. So bears need to continue this lower. Bears need to break lower. Otherwise, breaking here is a market structure break for bulls to continue higher. Bears need continuation below this low. Bears need continuation below this low. Bulls need to break above here for the continuation higher. Those are the main levels that I'm watching going into FOMC. So we'll see what happens. We have, you know, rollover going on. We got a lot of stuff going on. But that's my bullish trade. Bearish trade, we're just looking for this to, you know, hold this level and continue lower. Maybe come into cost basis, chop around and then continue lower. Or we're just looking to continue lower. Let's make this more valid here. Continue lower. And if we do break, we hold and then continue. Right? That's what I'm watching for the bearish play. Is this going to happen today? Probably not. That's quite a sell-off. We'd be hitting some major limits on that, I believe. But that's it. That's what I'm watching. That's why this level here, this choppiness, as this rollover is occurring and as we're going into FOMC, that's why it's been, excuse me, for me, torture. This is torture. Because on a swing standpoint, would have entered short here and stops are up here. So the trade is still valid. The short is still valid and the bulls are trying to break and go through that trap. We did have rollover. So, you know, these levels, you know, the previous levels on September have yet to really occur. So let's go ahead and mark this on the daily, just moving forward. And this is something that I like to do as the rollover occurs. You know, levels are still going to be levels. They're still going to play. There's still a technical reason for the levels, and that's why they're going to remain on my chart. You know, we didn't have anybody rolling over on 8/22. Maybe some people were rolling. Some people were buying the December. You know, there was always going to be some sort of an open interest on the December, but it was extremely low. Rollover started to really occur on last Friday the 13th. And so September 13th through, I like to do a week. So September 13th through the 20th. So for me, September 13th is right here. So we're going to we'll just put a little circle here for now. This is our rollover. That's our rollover. I'm going to keep that circle there. Eventually, potentially moving forward, I might make a high and a low, and that's going to be our rollover range. That way I know on some of my faster time frame charts. Now let's go and zoom in on, from the daily, I'm going to zoom into a 4,000 tick chart. I have copied and pasted these levels onto a 4,000 tick chart. And let's get this off. Here's the 4,000 tick chart. Now this is going to be the level where the bull trap triggered. So below here is where the bull trap triggered. Right here is where the previous swing and buyers trapped above. Buyers trapped above. Buyers trapped above the previous swing. And then this is where bull trap invalidation level stops above. So we have to say, stops above, because that's the way the setup is traded, even though, if we go back to the 13th, which is, right here, this is where the roll really started to occur, this area here. So if I put a box around the roll, we're saying the 13th, but we can say the 13th trading session, which is right around here. This is where the roll occurred and is occurring. So with that being said, all of this is rollover mess. And where is the rollover occurring? It's occurring above where the bull trap got triggered and below where the bulls were trapped. So all inside of this area, it's uncertain. These are technical levels because the bull trap had already been triggered on September's contract. We're in December's contract. These are back adjusted levels. Those are back adjusted levels. Because this is where we sold off to, inside a cost basis. See if I can copy my cost basis onto the chart to make it a little bit better. See if I have enough data loaded here. load some more data. Do 100 days. Should give me my cost basis on there. Oh, it goes back to goes back a lot further than 100 days. 250 days. There's cost basis, right? So the bull trap was triggered. You know, all the buyers that came in up here in August, right? All these buyers got trapped. Then we started to sell off. We bounced. This was the level. We broke the level, retested, held, broke back into cost basis. We came down here, tested, or held the bottom of cost basis. We started to buy, came up to the top of cost basis, held the midline, and we rallied. And now we're between here, right? Between the level where the bull trap was triggered, right here, bull trap was triggered here, stop loss above the high, and this is the previous swing, all the way over here. This is the previous swing bulls are trying to break above. So this is what we're looking for. Previous swing. Break the previous swing hold, break the bull trap invalidation level, because essentially there would have been September stops above there. There still could be some sellers holding if we break this today and stop them out. But that's what I'm looking for today. Cost basis is not too far below. You know, we got 597. It's a 600 point move below, or 500 point move below. Not that far. We can do that in a day. So we might come back, retest this, especially because we broke, right? This is where you get that retest and then the continuation. We've seen this happen many times. You know, this. Let's see if we can get our measured move going. You know, depending on how you want to draw your measured move, you can draw your measured move from the low to the high, and then go from the bottom of the range when we retest, if we retest, and continue up. That'll bring us around 20,400 on the dot. Or you can do the actual range break, because this is the leg that broke the measured move, or the cost basis. Bring it up to the high here. And then if you put that on the bottom of the, you know, we could go back, we could go down further. That brings us all the way up here, almost to the invalidation level, right? So those are levels I'll be watching. Those are range measure moves. I'm going to keep these on my chart just so we can go ahead and work with this later. But I just kind of want to go over my FOMC thoughts moving forward with those levels. Everything's still about the same, and I'm not really adjusting much. So levels are still intact. Just got to wait for this roll to finish, which most of it probably has finished. If not, will finish during the rate release. So we got about 2 hours till the rate release, and we'll go back and go over this video again later and then see how those levels matched up. I am done trading for the day, and I might take a few sim trades just to feel out the action of this rate release. So good luck, guys.